I like his dad, can't stand his mother. And I really do feel like a lot of this is her fault. What is up, everybody? Wanted to give my quick thoughts on the Love is Blind Season 10 finale and all of the I do's and I don'ts of who got married, who didn't even make it to the ceremony, which I think means I want to start with Devante, and Brittany. They did not go through with the ceremony, and Devante was definitely patting himself on the back for calling off the wedding the day of, because he in the past would have just went along with it and then tried to divorce or some shit. I don't know. Devante was never really into Brittany this whole time. I didn't see it. And yet he does one of those things that some guys do, and as a fellow guy, I don't know if I really understand it myself, but they will just not just string a woman along, but like do it in a way where they're just totally passive in the situation. And I feel like maybe that is something Devante does in a lot of his relationships. And maybe that's why he was so proud of himself for calling off the wedding the day of and not actually going through with it. But it is really annoying. And even in the end, it seemed like he was still placating Brittany in a way where they might get married in the future. Whereas in confessionals, Devante seemed to be pretty clear that he did not want to marry Brittany ever. So he's still kind of stringing Brittany along even as the show ends. We'll see what comes of that at the reunion. And then to top it off, Devante drove away in his Honda after wanting a prenup with this woman. And there's nothing wrong with Honda. I think Honda is a great brand. But if you're driving a Honda, I don't know if you're in a position to really need a prenup with a woman. So it was, Devante's an odd one. I never liked him this entire season. And honestly, Brittany is dodging a bullet there, even if she doesn't realize it. Speaking of dodging bullets, Emma dodged a bullet with Mike and Mike's family, in my opinion. I'm kind of glad that they didn't marry, because I've been saying all along, as I've reviewed this season of the show, Mike's storyline was my least favorite storyline by far. This being over the top about how he really, really wants children was either one of two things. Either Mike was the typical casting on this show, where it seems as though 90% of the men cast are just there to try and get famous and not actually there to find out if love is blind or to actually get married. And so they usually have to come up with a reason as to why they're going to call off the wedding in the end. That's a possibility of what Mike has been doing this entire season. The other possibility is his stupid ass mother, who has just been instilling this in his head probably his entire life, that he needs to have kids. It's a very Italian American thing. I come from an Italian family. I know this. I like his dad, can't stand his mother. And I really do feel like a lot of this is her fault. But I think Mike is a good enough dude. At least he comes across as a good enough dude. Do I think he needed to make Emma go to the ceremony to say no? Probably not. So that makes me feel a certain kind of way. I feel like Emma sees him as someone who she can actually have calm relations with. I think he does a good job of calming her down. I think they actually could be a decent couple if they were both willing to put in that work. I don't know if they will put in that work, but Emma still seems to want to. But yeah, I can't completely read Mike. As much as I feel like he is a good enough dude, I feel like he is a bit twisted because of his mother. And when it comes to the whole I really want kids issue, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good reason to call off the wedding. I mean, if he really wants kids and he doesn't think Emma is 100% behind that, perhaps, yes, you should not go through with the wedding. But to go to the ceremony to do it, it did irk me. And it made it more so seem like he's one of the people that comes on this show just to try and get famous and then have an excuse as to why you're not getting married. So that's how he came across. Now, one of the couples that did end up getting married was Amber and Jordan. Amber's daughter, Emma, another Emma, did come to the wedding. One of the more interesting things was how much I felt like Amber's brother looks like Jordan, which is kind of weird. But they did end up going through with their wedding ceremony. I like both of them. Amber did get on my nerves one of the last times I talked about the episodes because I felt like she had a very immature reaction to him just trying to put his feelings out there about being scared about, becoming a stepfather, which is a big deal. And I still don't feel like he and Emma, even though they went through with the wedding, I don't feel like he ever really got good time with her daughter at all. So that could be a problem in the future for them. I also feel like overall they had a strange edit this season where they didn't get a lot of screen time for a couple that did end up getting married in the end. But I really like Jordan. Out of all the people on this season, he's probably the most authentic to me because he really does just seem like a regular guy, but a regular guy with a good personality. So I'm happy for him. I hope they do work out in the end. I mean, Vic is another person that comes off authentic too on the show. And it's rare that it's two guys, in my opinion, that come off like authentic on the show. Vic's a little more iffy because he's kind of dry, but that's more of a personality issue. But yeah, I like Jordan. Glad that he and Amber worked out for now. I couldn't tell with the preview for the reunion coming up next week if it was Amber that was leaving the stage in a huff. If it is, that could be a problem. But there's other blondes that could have been. And it could have been Ashley, because that's who we're going to talk about next. Ashley and Alex had a pretty shitty relationship as the episodes went along. We've talked about all of Alex's lying and just he likes to yap in circles to make it seem like his life has been better than it actually has. He's a lot. And so Ashley went into the ceremony thinking that Alex was going to be a no. And judging by the way Alex looked at his own wedding with his beard not nice, like it was unkempt. I saw somebody post pictures that there were little stuff in his beard too. So he didn't even put an effort to look nice at his own wedding. So maybe she was onto something, that Alex was not going to say yes and that he was not on the show for authentic reasons. So Ashley did it first, kind of aired out their business in front of everyone at the ceremony and kind of put him in his place, saying that she deserves something extraordinary and deserves better than Alex, basically. So they probably had the most dramatic ceremony out of anyone. And yeah, we could see it building that way the whole time. Those two were not going to work out. Vic and Christine, the last ones to get married. They've been the most solid relationship this whole time. I think they're really cute. I liked getting to see Vic's family and Christine interacting with them. They seem very much in love to me. And so I'm all for it. As I said earlier, even though I do find Vic authentic, sometimes I question it because he could be quite dry. But I'm believing it. They came across as authentic at their wedding to me. And they seem to have the most beautiful and actually loving ceremony. Although that could just be editing, because for whatever reason, this show did not like to edit Amber and Jordan a lot these past few episodes. But yeah, very happy for Vic and Christine. Hope that their love is real and that they last. I think they have definitely been the strongest and the cutest couple this season. So good on them. Glad we got some happy endings here. We'll see what the reunion brings, and if I have some shit to talk about the reunion. I mean, Chris is going to be there, so there's going to be plenty of shit to talk with him involved regardless. But I'm glad I actually made it through this season of Love is Blind, unlike the last two. So that says something. I guess there was enough villainy from Chris and enough of these other couples to be interesting for me to yap about them today. Even on a bad hair day, I decided to come and yap about this show.